Hello everyone, BOB here, and welcome to another episode of Labcraft. Now, today, well, I'm basically starting this episode pretty much right after the last episode was uploaded. I've decided, I'm taking several days to create each episode anyways. Instead of showing you the in-between clips, well, we'll just record over the span of a couple of days. Um, Starting right after the last upload. So it's basically like you're not really missing anything at all, and I can keep creating content. Speaking of creating content, I need to get back into the habit of making tutorials, and I know I haven't lately. So if that's what you're in it for, you're not really into the Let's Play series or the SMP series. More tutorials to come. I got a few things planned. It's just a matter of finding time to do those recordings. I wanna spend a lot of time on the server. So, um, but lots of things I'd like to take care of today. One thing I'm kind of taking care of is clearing up the snow. Now, if this is something you got to do around your base, if you picked a snowy biome like mine, you don't have to use a shovel to clean all this up. This is a very fast way to do it. And plus, in my case, I'm selling the snow blocks, so I'm gonna collect all these snowballs and block them up, and then that way I can use them as stock for my shop. And just a quick update on the XP farm. I did fill in this second tube with another bubble tube, and basically, so it's just like open at the bottom there, and the zombies will work their way around this soul sand, and then they're in a double bubble tube. uh, as you can see, they're working through. I also redid the trident killer just a little bit. I added in a water stream so it would direct the XP towards me. I was having to walk around it in order to collect it all, so um, I'm not sure that completely fixed the issue, but it certainly seems to help. It all seems to flow to just this one end. So I was just doing a little mining, and what do I find? Another zombie spawner. Of course, it couldn't be a skeleton spawner, because that would be useful. Oh my god. Well, I'll take these. But yeah, no, of course I can't get a skeleton spawner, but another zombie spawner. That's 3 in the area now. It would be better if they were close enough that I could have them all active at once, but they're not. Uh, but yeah, I'm gonna take most of this chest actually. And of course, you can see where I am right now. This is all, well, was all part of the big project I teased in the last episode. I was going to build an Enderman farm. I was going to do something big that was going to involve a lot of work. So instead, I decided to come here and just kind of grind out some end pearls. And after about a stack, I thought of maybe looking for an island where I could set up a quick, easy Enderman farm, just a hole in the ground for them to fall in. Eh, Well, I started flying from one of the outer end portals, and I came across the city, which appears to have not been raided yet. I don't know how that's possible, because it really wasn't that far from the end portal, but everybody just must have went a different direction when they came through that. Um, Downside is I don't see a ship here, so I don't think I'm getting any spare elytra out of the deal, unless I just haven't seen the ship yet, and there is one here, but I don't know. But upside is shulkers were desperately needed. The shop has been out of stock for a couple days now, and I only had I had 5 shulker boxes, and then I gave one to Techno, so 4. And I require many more. So this is a good time to grind some of them out. This is also a good time to come through and grab a few of these end rods instead of paying a diamond for 16 of them, which actually isn't a bad price when you consider like what it takes to craft them. But yeah, if you can just come to the end dimension and grab a whole bunch, that's obviously the cheaper route to go. Some exciting news. There is a ship. I've never seen one where the end ship is so high off the ground, or at least away from like ground level. But I'm not going to complain. There's shulkers on it. That means it hasn't been raided. So there should be an Elytra in there. Or at least here's hoping. And would you look at that? I got myself a pair of backup Elytra, and I didn't even have to pay for them. That's amazing. Yeah, some gold, some diamond gear. Oh, that's actually a decent shovel. Guess the sword is okay. Ooh, diamonds. Yeah, I need to put some stuff in my ender chest. Another silk touch pickaxe. I won't say no to that. Yeah, definitely need to put some stuff in my ender chest. I might just go ahead and craft up another shulker box. I got the shulkers to do it now. All right, and just a little rundown of the goods from the end rating. We got ourselves some diamond gear here. A couple of swords, a pair of pants. This is an iron helm, but I figured I could unenchant and then smelt it. We got, well, 55 end rods. I was just kind of grabbing the ones I walked by. I wasn't really going out of my way to get them. But I love end rods, and it's just nice to have some when you need them. I mean, they're a great lighting source. Of course, a couple potions, a brewer. I figured I'd grab that while I was there. 6 diamonds. Yep, more diamond gear. Of course, I grabbed the dragon head. We got our spare set of elytra, which is fantastic. So now I got a backup pair in case something happens and I lose the pair I got. Uh, yeah, beetroot seeds we didn't have before. Shulker shells. Not only do I got these 40 shells right here, but all 3 of these shulker boxes are new. They're ones that I did not have before. So essentially, I got 23 shulker boxes out of my trip to the end. I'm not gonna complain about that. So this is pretty cool. I'm in this ice spikes biome. I've been coming here to well, to speed stock up on ice and stuff. And I dug down to the bottom of one of these ice spikes and I found myself a spider spawner down here. And that's a music disc I did not have before. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna I don't know if I'm gonna use this. I suppose I got the coordinates on screen if I want to. Why do they have 2 of the same music discs in the same spawner? Whatever. Um, but yeah. Um, Spider spawner. In case I need string, I guess here we go. So I have been back and forth to the end dimension a few different times now, and I keep getting distracted from my project because I find end cities that aren't rated yet, and with the number of like shulker boxes and things on the server already, I assume most of the ones would be, well, at least a lot of the ones like close to like outer end portals would have already been rated, but I guess I'm getting lucky. I'm not going to complain about that. However, over the weekend, with the help of Be Magical, I built an Enderman farm, an Ender Pearl farm, and I can't find it. I forgot to take the coordinates down. I remembered what direction I flew and keep trying to do it and fly in that direction, but I can't find it again. In fact, yesterday I was doing just that, and like I was playing on my Switch. I didn't have access to my computer at the time, but the Switch doesn't, well, the world doesn't render in as fast, and well, I got lost, and all I could see was black for a couple of minutes, and I kept flying, and eventually I ran out of rockets, and I went down. So, while I keep finding end cities, that is great because I'm getting a lot more end loot. I lost a bunch of gear too. Luckily this time, because of the elytra I found in earlier in this episode, I guess that was, uh, I had backup gear. You know, finding or replacing the diamond gear wasn't all that difficult. I did spend a whole lot of diamonds on enchantments and stuff, but now I'm wearing my backup elytra, and hopefully I can find another pair. Unfortunately, I found two cities since I found that the pair that I'm wearing now, and neither of them had airships in them, so or the end ships in them. So I have no backup elytra, but I am developing quite the score of backup gear and shulker shells galore, which I'll give you guys a final count on everything. Well, I guess whenever I'm done raiding this city, and hopefully figure out where my Enderman farm is. Okay. Um, for some reason, the last clip I recorded didn't actually record, but I died. I died in the end to an Enderman, and I was wearing all my backup gear. Yeah, yeah. So I didn't even have enough to buy another set of elytra. You can see I'm naked here. I had to come mining uh, to hopefully buy another set of elytra, and then I'm gonna try and fly back to the city where I died and retrieve my things. They shouldn't have despawned. I mean, I was in another dimension. Those trunks shouldn't be loaded. That should sit there until there's somebody in that area. I hope. Uh, Here's the thing. Okay. This wow, this is a nice diamond vein. Oh, there's 8 blocks in this. Um, Here's the thing. It, if this does not get me back to where my stuff was, then it will probably have been a waste of the elytra I'm about to go and buy. And that's why it's a little painful to think about. Okay, my friends, it has been a rough couple of days, but basically what happened after the last clip you saw is I managed to buy myself another elytra, and I flew into the end looking for the Enderman that had killed me, well, looking for the area where I had died to an Enderman, and well, I ended up being killed by another Enderman, and I lost those elytra. So basically, that caused me to basically abandon trying to retrieve that stuff. But well, thanks to Techno Lads, well, mainly Techno Lads, he gave me a whole bunch of diamonds, and that helped me to get rekitted. So as you can see, I'm back in some diamond gear, and I got a lot of enchantments rocking on. Well, I got enchantments rocking on a few things. There's still some things I need to enchant yet, which brought me out here to the Enderman farm. Also, I needed to grind out the pearls so I can open up a shop. Um, I managed to get 2 full shulkers full of pearls before my Enderman farm broke for the second time. But I'm going to show you around this, and I'm going to tell you how I plan to prevent it from breaking again. Although I'm not going to do that today. I want to get back to the shopping district and start building. Um, but as you can see here, the kill chamber, just a 3x3 platform of hoppers feeding into a chest. We got bottom-sided half slabs on the floor as well as on the roof, but that's not exactly necessary. It could have just been a 2-block space. Since Endermen are 3 blocks tall, they aren't going to get down in here anyway. But let's have a look above the surface. You see I got no room for Endermen to spawn in the stairwell here, not to mention there's stair blocks underneath, so they're not going to really spawn there anyway. But I think they could teleport to that spot. We got signs over top, and that's holding back all of this water. If you look around, I've spread water across a large portion of this end island, and that's to ensure that the Endermen kind of spawn all within this location, which is supposed to be within distance of the Endermite, which is supposed to be in that cart. But what I believe is happening is the Endermen are teleporting to that block and killing my Endermite inside the cart. I don't know that's for sure, but you should be able to see particle effects there if the Endermite were still there. and I don't. So I have a feeling he's dead, and plus they're not rushing towards the center like they're supposed to. Yeah, these guys are angry because I'm looking at them. Haha, you can't get me. Um, so that's something I'm gonna have to fix, and how I'm gonna fix that is probably replace that block with basically anything that's not a solid block. Maybe an end rod or a trapdoor just floating in the air there. Uh, that would be enough to well, I would think, to ensure that Endermen aren't gonna be able to teleport up there and kill my bait. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Right now, I want to get back to the shopping district. But maybe before I do, I ought to kill all the Endermen that are trying to kill me now. And now it's been a couple more days since the last clip you saw. I did come back to the shopping district and build a shop, and I recorded a clip during the building process, but for some reason that clip didn't take. I'm struggling with some hard drive issues. I think I'm gonna have to buy an external one. Uh, but the shop is complete, and let's just have ourselves a look. Boom, the Ender Vendor. Um, I could give you a quick demonstration on how this works. Let me grab a diamond. Nope, I don't have any regular diamonds. I don't even have room for regular diamonds. Okay, let's do this. And okay, we got our signs here that give instructions. Well, the first sign says, "Welcome to the Ender Vendor," and then it says, "Drop one diamond here for 32 Ender pearls." I have people waiting until their first purchase is complete before they make another one. Um, we did test it out once, just dropping two, and it seemed to work just fine. But it's probably safer to only drop one at a time. But just drop one diamond in the slot there, and 32 pearls pop up out of the hole. Oops, wrong button. If you look here, I already had 16 pearls on me, so that gave me another 32. And I'm going to restock the shop. But in the process, I'm going to give you a little look at this redstone down here because, I mean, well, it's kind of clever, I suppose. Basically, what I have here is an item filter, and then when a diamond comes through that item filter, well, it's going to turn off this redstone torch right here, which is going to turn on this redstone torch just for a second. Now that signal is going to feed into this repeater, which is going to extend that signal to a 4-tick pulse, which is then feeding into a pulse extender, which is going to extend that to an 8-tick pulse. And now we're feeding that into a comparator clock, which then goes into 4 different droppers that dispense into a bubble tube, and that's how the ender pearls are brought to the surface. And then one last little feature in here. This comparator right here is drawing a signal from this dropper right here. And, well, it's sending that signal to this redstone line, which runs directly into that block. And as you can see, this torch is now turned off. So basically what's going to happen is, if my machine runs out of pearls here, that's going to power that redstone torch, right? Because this line will turn off. That redstone torch will turn on, and it's going to lock this hopper. And now that I'm thinking about it, it would do it before it's empty. There would still be some left in there because that's a 2-block space. Either way, it's just a fail-safe. I plan on keeping it stocked. I still have to get back and repair the Enderman farm, but I'm not terribly concerned with doing that right now. And the reason why? Today is the day that the 1.16 update is released. And we are kind of getting things ready here on the server. We do plan on resetting the nether, and so like any unfinished business in there, if there's any materials that we might want, now would be the time to get them. I don't really think there's anything in the nether that I'm really too concerned about. um, I'm looking forward to those new materials, but once I did finish up this shop, and this was Be Magical, who helped me build the Enderman farm, also kind of helped out with the shop. He kind of laid out the framework, and I ended up just finishing it. Uh, I think it turned out pretty good. But you probably noticed in the corner of the screen, the ice shop has gotten quite a bit bigger. These pillars, those were supposed to be on there to begin with. And what I do plan on doing, or Tom mentioned he might do it, is just add in some more texture variation to the ice spikes here. You know, a little bit more packed ice, or blue ice, and maybe even a little bit of the regular ice, just to break things up, make it a little more interesting to look at. But I'm I'm kind of impressed with myself on how it turned out. I was afraid to do it, and I feel like I didn't do too bad of a job. It looks pretty grand, and I think if we get a few more like texture variations, a little bit more blue ice and stuff in here, it's gonna look even better. Oh yeah, one other thing that's happening in the shopping district. Since we got the mob heads now on the server, we're actually doing our own variation of the head games. This isn't something that I've been participating in at all. I think I feel like I'm already behind. I only have a couple heads, and uh, I don't think any of the ones I got are actually on this list. Oh, cow heads. Well, I only have the two though. You need three, and that's only worth 1 point. So I almost rather keep my cow heads and use them as decoration. I don't have any zombie heads. I have some zombie villager heads. And even with the Enderman farm, I don't have any Enderman heads. Um, how's that only 2 points for five Enderman heads? How so, okay, all right. Uh, I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know. If I end up getting an abundance of heads, I might start to participate in this. But I feel like a lot of the other guys are already way ahead of me. Like this zombie pigman one, yeah, yeah, they already got 300. That's because of all like the zombie pigman farms on the server. But yeah, I don't know. I may or may not participate in this one. Um, Either way, I think it'll be cool to see who ends up coming out on top. And so, my friends, of course, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button. And if you're interested in seeing more from me, consider subscribing as well. I would like to thank each and every one of you for watching, and I'll see you all in 116. And I want to wish you all a wonderful day.